Alright guys, let us talk about the difference between a sequence and series. But before we start, let us have our objectives. At the end of this lesson, the learners are expected to differentiate a series from a sequence, illustrate the types of sequence and series, and apply some applications of series in our daily lives. Now, here on your screen, we have the definition of a sequence. A sequence is a function denoted by the symbol a sub n, whose domain is the set of positive integers, and that is 1, 2, 3 up to n enclosed by braces. It is a list of ordered numbers separated by commas with a pattern. Ayan, for example, let's have a sub n equal 1 over 2 raised to n. So, sabi natin, ang sequence ay dinedenote ng a sub n as a symbol, as its symbol. Now, ang domain or yung mga ipapalit natin sa variable n ay mga set of positive integers. Not necessarily mag-i-start ka sa 1. Sa 2. Pwede kang mag-start sa, let's say, 11, 12, as long as positive integer. Halimbawa lang for simplicity, ang n natin ay nag-i-start sa 1, sa 2, 3, and 4 matatapos. Okay? Kailangan lang natin gawin is to substitute the values of n as 1. So, we have a sub 1 equal 1 over 2 raised to 1, and that is 1 half. Okay? Next, we have a sub 2 equal 1 over 2 raised to 2. We have 1/4. Meron din tayong a sub 3. So, we have 1 over 2 raised to 3. 1 over 8. And lastly, a sub 4, 1 over 2 raised to 4, 1 over 16. Kung mapapansin natin, nakapag-generate tayo ng values ng ating terms sa sequence, 1 half, 1/4, 1/8, and 1 over 16. So, pwede na natin silang i-list. So, meron tayong 1 half separated by commas. So, nakikita natin dito, separated by commas. So, 1 half, 1/4, 1 over 8, and 1 over 16. Okay? And that is our sequence a sub 4. I'm sorry, a sub n. Bukayin lang natin dito. A sub n. Okay? And makita natin dito, it should be in ordered, meaning hindi pwedeng mauna si 1 over 16 or 1 half, susundan ni 1/8 dahil masisira yung ating pattern na meron tayo under this sequence. Kaya ito yung ating desired answer. Okay, for the series, it represents the sum of the n terms of sequence. It is denoted by s sub n. From our previous example, we have the sequence 1 half, 1/4, 1/8, and 1 over 16. Ang kailangan lang natin gawin is kuhain yung sum nito. So, ayun yung series. No? It is expressed by the symbol addition operation or yung cross. So, yung 1 half, 1/4, 1/8, 1 over 16, gagawin lang natin siyang ganito. Okay. 1 half plus 1/4 plus 1 over 8 plus 1 over 16. And its symbol is s sub n. Since we have 4 terms, the value of n is 4. So, we have s sub 4. And you can verify that the sum of these terms is 15 over 16. And that's the series. Alright, for example, tell whether the following expressions are sequence or series. Let's have number 1. 0, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, and so on. kung mapapansin natin, each term is perfect square. 0 square, 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square. And that is the pattern. Hindi pwedeng maiba, meaning malilipat yung 16 sa 4th place natin, or yung 25 yung ating first term, and so on and so forth. Okay? Now, malinaw na ito ay sequence. Number 2, we have the linear function y equals negative 3x plus 1. Ngayon, kahit walang nakalistang pattern, sabi natin sa definition kanina that a sequence is a function. Okay? So, yung linear function natin na meron tayo, which is y equals negative 3x plus 1, ay nasasatisfy yung definition ni sequence. Kaya pwede natin siyang sabihin sequence dahil once na nag-replace tayo or nag-substitute tayong value para kay x, bibigyan tayo ng value ni y. Halimbawa, if x is 1, the value of y is negative 2. If x is 2, the value of y is negative 5. If x is 3, we have negative 9 plus 1, which is negative 8. If x is 4, we have negative 12 plus 1, which is negative 11. Kung mapapansin natin, yung values ng y natin ay may sinusundang pattern. Negative 2, negative 5, negative 8, negative 11. Or pwede mo siyang isulat as negative 2, negative 5, negative 8, and negative 11. So, still, it is a sequence. Okay. Sequence. Okay. Let me delete this one. Okay. Now, for number 3, we have negative, 1 minus 1.01 plus 1.001 minus 1.0001 and so on. Ang sabi natin, kapag separated by addition sign, dahil kinukuha natin yung sum, it is a series. But, meron tayong subtraction sign or negative sign dito, no? Subtraction operation. So, still sum pa din ba makukuha natin? Yes. Ito ay pwede maging 1 plus negative 1.01 and yung part na to is plus or minus. Still, sum pa rin ang kinukuha natin. Kaya lang nag-a-add tayo ng negative values. So, masasabi pa rin natin siyang series, no? Ito naman ay series. And obviously, para sa number 4, we have 1 plus 2 squared plus 2 cubed plus 2 to the 4th. At ma-observe natin yung pattern dito is umaangat yung exponent, no, ng isang level kada term. So, since addition sign ang nagsiseparate, kino-consider natin ito as a series. Ngayon, punta naman tayo sa types of sequence at meron tayong 4. Ang una ay ang arithmetic sequence, harmonic sequence, geometric sequence, and the Fibonacci sequence. Isa-isayin natin sila, bigyan natin sila ng details and some examples. Now, in order to arrive to the formal definition of arithmetic sequence, let us first consider the sequence 2, 5, 8, and 11. Kung mapapansin natin sa sequence, meron tayong ina-add na 3, no? Para makuha natin yung mga succeeding term. Okay. Yung 3 na yun is constant. So, add ka lang ng add ng 3 to obtain the next term. Okay. Now, ang sequence na to ay i-denote natin as A, then yung subscript, yung position ng bawat terms. Yung A sub 1, pwede natin siyang isulat as 2. Okay? Or, pwede natin siyang isulat as 2 plus 0. Yung A sub 2, which is yung second term, ay pwedeng isulat as 5. At yan din ay sulat natin as 2 plus Now, in order to arrive to the official definition of arithmetic sequence, let us first consider the sequence 2, 5, 8, and 11. Kung mapapansin natin sa sequence, nag-a-add tayo ng 3, no? Para makuha yung next term. At yan ay nangyayari onwards, no? Add ka lang ng add ng 3. Now, pwede natin i-denote yung ating sequence as A, and yung subscript, yung position po nito, o yung mga position ng terms natin. Okay. Malinaw na yung first term or si A sub 1 ay si 2. Okay. Next, the second term A sub 2 ay makukuha kapag nag-add tayo ng 3 sa first term. And that is equal to 5. Next, A sub 3 or yung third term, si 8. That is 8. Makukuha natin yung 8 kapag nag-add tayo ng dalawang 3 sa ating initial term, which is si 2, no? So, this is equal to 8. And lastly, A sub 4, makukuha natin yung 11 kapag nag-add tayo ng 3 3 times doon sa ating initial term na si 2. So, we have 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Makakuha natin dito is 11. Okay? Now, kung malaki yung value na kukunin natin or mataas yung position niya, hindi natin gagawin or iisa-isahin yung pag-a-add ng 3. So, that's why gagamit na tayo ng multiplication. No? Yung A sub 4, kung mapapansin natin, classmates, pwede yung isulat as 2 plus, since nag-occur yung 3 times, pwede natin siyang gawing 3 times 3. 3 times 3. Okay. Next, yung A sub 3, 2 times tayo nag-add ng 3, kaya pwede natin itong gawing 2 plus 2 times 3. Para naman sa A sub 2, 1 time lang nangyari yung 3, kaya pwede itong isulat as 2 plus 1 times 3. And since wala tayong in-add na 3 sa ating first term or si A sub 1, pwede natin itong isulat naman as 2 plus 0 times 3. Now, anong ma-observe nating pattern? Yung subscript na meron tayo dito sa 1, okay? Nagbawas ka ng isa to obtain this value na 0. Kung mula sa 2 na subscript, bawas ka ng isa, makukuha mo yung 1. From this subscript, bawas ka ng isa, makakakuha ka ng 2. And from this subscript, bawas ka ng isa, makakakuha ka dito ng 3. Diba? That is the pattern na meron tayo. Kaya, pwede natin itong isulat in general as what? Okay? In general, we have A sub n equal 2 plus, kung ang subscript mo ay n, magbabawas ka lang ng isa, we have n minus 1. Okay. Then, observe yung nasa loob ng parenthesis natin, yung value na 3 is constant. Yan yung ina-add natin para makuha yung next term. Ang tawag doon is the common difference. That is our common difference. Okay. It was denoted by the symbol letter D. Okay. Ngayon, magmumultiply tayo ng D, which is the common difference. Or, for specific value, ang value nito ay 3, no? Pwede lang natin. That is 3. Or pwede natin itong isulat as A sub n equal, yung ating 2, siya yung ating first term. Pwede natin itong gawing A sub 1 plus quantity n minus 1 times the common difference na si 3. So, lagay natin dito. Okay. Now, meron na tayong formula para sa ating arithmetic sequence. And now, nasa posisyon na tayo para i-define yung arithmetic sequence. It is a sequence of numbers such that the difference between the consecutive terms is constant, and that constant term is the common difference. And here is the formula. na dinerive natin, we have a sub n equals a sub 1 plus quantity n minus 1 times d. Where a sub n, okay, where a sub n is the nth term of arithmetic sequence, a sub 1 is the first term, n is the number of terms, and d is our common difference. Okay guys, let us have our first example. Find the common difference and the 8th term of the arithmetic sequence 7, 11, 15, and 19. And so on. Okay. For the solution, natin ganyan, yan. Lista muna natin yung mga given and yung unknown, no, para hindi tayo malito. Sinasabi sa ating problem, find the common difference. So that means yung D na meron tayo is unknown. Okay, that's question mark. And the 8th term. So yung a sub 8 is question mark din. Kung ang sequence na given ay 7, 11, 15, 19. Obviously, yung ating a sub 1, makikita na agad natin sa given na sequence, that is 7. Okay, first term. At yung common difference, ano ba yung ina-add sa ating first term para makuha yung mga succeeding terms? Nag-a-add tayo ng, tama, nag-a-add tayo ng 4. So, 7 plus 4, 11. 11 plus 4, 15. 15 plus 4, 19. And so on and so forth. Kaya, masasabi natin na ang D, okay, yung D na meron tayo ay 4. Yan. Okay? So, lagyan lang natin ng formal solution. So, for any value or for any term in the sequence, so let's say 11, subtract lang tayo, no? Subtract natin siya doon sa previous term na si 7, makakakuha ka ng 4, right? Or pwede natin gawing 15 minus 11, still meron pa din tayong 4. Thus D is equal to 4. Okay. Para naman sa 8th term, since 8th term yung ating concern, mapapwersa na ang value ng n is 8. So, n is equal to 8. Right? Now, to get the 8th term, we have a sub 8, or by the arithmetic sequence formula, by ASF, we have a sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d. That is a sub 8 equal a sub 1 is 7. That is 7 plus n is equal to 8. So, meron tayo dito 8 minus 1 times d. And d natin ay 4. And d is equal to 4. So, substitute. A sub 8 now is equal to 7 plus 7 times 4. Or, we have 7 plus 28. Therefore, okay, the value of a sub 8 is 35. This is our 8th term. You can check sa ating problem, no, kung ito yung ating magiging pagbabatayan na sequence. We have 7, 11, 15, 19. Add ka ng 4, 23. Add ka ng 4, 27. Add ka ng 4, 31. And for the 8th term, nag-add ka ng 4, makakakuha tayo ng 35. They are the same. Our next example, the fifth term of an arithmetic sequence is 11. So, ito yun, fifth term. And the 13th term is 67. Find the first term and fill up the missing terms. Now, magke-create tayo ng ating solution. Okay. First, list muna natin yung mga given values. Okay, halimbawa ito given, nakalagay given. Okay. Fifth term is 67. I'm sorry, is 11, no? So, a sub 5 is 11. Okay. And here, the value of n is 5. Next, 13th term is 67. So, we have a sub 13, 67. Here, our n is 13. And we are looking for d. And also for the first term, which is si a sub 1. Okay. So, ano kaya pwedeng gawin natin dito, no? Mayroon tayong given a sub 5, a sub 13. So, dalawa yun. Para makakabuo tayo ng dalawang equation. So, halimbawa, a sub 5, or gawin muna natin by arithmetic sequence formula. We have a sub n equals a sub 1 plus quantity n minus 1 times d. Okay. A sub 5 equal, a sub 1 is unknown. So, as is lang tong a sub 1 plus n minus 1. If a sub 5 ang ating pagbabasihan, the value of n is 5. So, we have 4 or 5 minus 1 is 4. Then, d is also unknown. Okay. Next, kung magbe-base naman tayo sa a sub 13, okay, ito naman yung ating magiging equation. So, a sub 1 unknown plus 13 minus 1, that is 12. And d is also unknown. So, lagay lang natin to. Now, maganda dito is lagyan natin siya ng pangalan. Let's say this is our equation 1 and this is our equation 2. Para makapag-construct tayo ng ating statement sa ating solution. So, to get, let's say, d, subtract equation 1, subtract the equation 1 from equation 2. Okay. Bakit natin isa-subtract? Kasi kapag nag-subtract tayo, classmates, madali nang mawawala yung a sub 1. Eliminated na siya. Right? So, meron tayo ditong a sub 13 equal a sub 1. I'm sorry. A sub 13 is given, no? So, that is 67. A sub 5 is also given, which is C11. So, papalitan lang natin yun, no? Yan. So, since given yan, gagawin natin itong 11. Tapos, itong A sub 13, given din po yan, which is 67. Okay. Yan. So, bali yung A sub 13 natin din dito, is papalitan natin ng numerical value na 67. Plus, no? N minus 1. So, that's 12, no? 12D. Minus, okay, minus 11 equal A sub 1 plus 4D. Okay. Now, makikita natin na magkakaroon tayo ng 67 minus 11, and that is equal to 56. Equal, cancel. Okay. 12D minus 4D is 8D. This is 8D. Okay. Divide 8 both sides. Divide 8. Okay. So, pag ginawa natin yun, mawawala yung 8 dito. And we have now D is equal to, okay, D is now equal to 56 divided by 8 is 7. Okay. So, ito yung ating common difference, si 7. Okay. So, pwede na natin itong palitan. Gagawin natin itong 7. Now, anong tulong ng common difference? Pag alam mo yung common difference, kaya mo nang mailista yung mga succeeding term tsaka previous term na. Ngayon, yung D na to, pwede natin itong i-substitute either kay equation 1 or kay equation 2 para makuha natin yung a sub 1. Okay. To obtain a sub 1, substitute D equal to 7 either on equation 1 or kay equation 2. Or okay. So let's say piliin natin si equation 1. So 11 equals a sub 1 plus 4d. So on equation 1, and on equation 1, we have 11 equals a sub 1 plus, meron tayo 4d, no? 4d. Since ang ating d ay 7, papalitan mo lang. So magkakaroon ka ng 11 equal a sub 1 plus 28. And para makuha natin ng tuluyan yung a sub 1, transpose lang natin yung ating positive 28 sa left side, or you can add negative 28 both sides. So makakakuha tayo ng negative 17. Okay? Let us check. A sub 1 is negative 17. So pwede natin itong palitan. Itong negative 17. Okay. Now, pwede na natin palitan or i-fill up yung ating mga terms, no? So, sabi natin, yung a sub 1 is negative 17. So, we have negative 17 here. Plus 7, negative 10. Plus 7 is negative 3. Susundan ng positive 4. Plus 7, and that's our fifth term, 11. Plus 7, 18. 25. 32. 39. 46. 53, 60, plus 7, and that is our 13th term na 67.